Today, I want to talk about leaps of faith. Um, Many of you probably don't know, but what I do for work is I actually write a travel blog. And it took a real leap of faith to get into that kind of work. Um, and I've kind of made leaps of faith a big part of my life over and over and over again. So, yeah, I want to just talk about how that happened and how beautiful and beneficial leaps of faith can be. I think a lot of people right now are feeling pulled to a leap of faith of some kind. That energy seems to be in the air, which is really exciting. So back in 2016, my partner and I loved the idea of traveling. We read travel blogs, we talked about travel, but we were kind of living just sort of a very regular, average life, working, coming home from work and having a beer and talking about the things that we would love to do. And at some point, it occurred to me, maybe we should just do it. And suddenly this idea began to form of selling everything and taking off on a trip. We had always talked about wanting to do a bicycle tour. We had, at this time, never, ever even done one overnight bicycle trip. Just have to add that. But we decided that we were going to sell our belongings, sell a vehicle, and take off on bicycles for Mexico. And then spend the winter camping on the beach in Mexico. And we were going to do all of this pulling our 40-pound dog in a specially designed doggy trailer behind our bikes. And then the important part here is I was going to quit my job and become a travel blogger. That I would write about our travels, and I would somehow figure out how to make money doing that. Which, of course, at the time, all of this sounded way over the top. We live in Oregon, so Oregon to Mexico is a long bike ride. But we went ahead and we made a plan, and we got scared many times along the way in the preparation. But we did it. We did this. We sold all of our belongings. We sold one of our vehicles. We put one in storage. We trained the dog to ride in a bike trailer. And in September 2016, we took off on 2 bicycles and a trailer for Mexico from Eugene, Oregon. And I started writing a travel blog, even though I had no experience with website design, photography. I mean, there were all of these components to being a travel blogger that I had no experience with. But what I did have is a real drive to make this dream happen, and a really strong belief that I was supported in this dream, that this dream was what I was meant to do. And man, that'll take you a long way. So, to be fair, we only made it 600 miles on the bikes. In San Francisco, it had rained for like 2 weeks straight, and we decided that bikes might be too difficult to get all the way to Mexico. And so when we got to San Francisco, we decided that we were going to buy an old, cheap little RV, a Toyota motorhome, and drive that to Mexico. Of course, we had to find one. But once we decided, we sat down, we pulled up Craigslist, and there was a Toyota motorhome just listed. We called the guy, we went and saw it. It was running great, in perfect shape. So we bought it on the spot, hopped in, drove to Mexico, spent the winter on the beach in Mexico, and we actually continued traveling for several years full time after that. We also spent a long stretch of time in Southeast Asia. And nowadays, I have a professional travel blog that is my main source of income. So it all worked out. It all happened. But if at any point in that preparation we had stopped and thought of all of the what ifs, I mean, and there were a lot of what ifs. You know, what if bicycling doesn't work for us? It turns out that happened, but there was another solution. What if we don't enjoy Mexico? What if, I mean, there's so many things. What if we don't have enough money? What if our savings run out? What if, if we had focused on any of those things, we would never have jumped off the cliff, right? We would never have taken the leap of faith. So as you're looking at whatever your big dream is right now, and you're thinking about this leap of faith, and your leap of faith might be totally different than this. Your leap of faith might not be about quitting a job and starting a new dream career. Your leap of faith could be around a relationship that you really want to make happen, or maybe a relationship that you need to move on from. There are so many different leaps that we can take that feel big and scary and challenging. But yeah, when you think about your leap of faith, I encourage you to focus on what could go right and not what could go wrong. I also encourage you to really trust that if something feels really good and really right to you, that it's going to work out for you. If you can stay aligned with that feeling that this is my next step, this is my path, this is what feels right for me. If you can stay aligned with that, the universe will support you. The universe will help you. In my journey to becoming a travel blogger, I found over and over again, like the right tools would just kind of show up as I was searching for information. The right teacher that helped me learn how to design and monetize a website. The right things just kind of popped up, and it was because I believed that they would. So don't underestimate the intense value of believing in this dream as you take this leap of faith. And frankly, the act of taking a leap of faith, that tells the universe, like, I have faith in this dream. I am willing to take this jump, to take this risk. So something to think about. Hopefully that's a little bit of an inspiring story for those of you watching. I will add the link to my travel blog in my Instagram bio in case you just want to check it out and see what that ended up looking like for us. There are some really fun stories and pictures on there, actually. So I'm going to pull a couple cards because I have a few more minutes on this video, and I don't know, I just think maybe we can pull some cards that will feel inspiring. I'm hoping that this video will be, a good little push of inspiration for the new year. So let's see what we get. Oh, and again, I'm pulling out the Wisdom of the Oracle again. I suppose I should pull out another deck one of these days, and I will, but I really like this one. These cards, each card is almost like a full reading in itself, which there's just so much going on in each card, which is pretty cool. So let's see. Ooh, this is interesting. So I haven't seen this card yet, which is another reason why I'm having a lot of fun with this deck, because I get to see new cards. But regeneration. And it's number 46, so that breaks down to a 10 or 1. So endings and beginnings, which this absolutely looks like. This feels like immediately I have a sense of like rising from the ashes. Like maybe you've been through a period of turmoil, some things have fallen apart. There's new growth possible. And going with the leap of faith theme, I mean, if you've had something in your life really fall apart, a leap of faith can be a great way to move into a new beginning, into this new phase of your life. So let's see for this card what the book says. Number 46. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Make sure you can see that. Rebirth second chances, new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced. Is now being replaced by something better. Ooh, I love this. Something better and more powerful is growing in its place. Yeah, that's the thing. When things fall apart, when you lose something in your life, it makes space for something new and better to fill in and to grow. That's been true for me over and over and over, and I'm sure that if you think back through your own life, you'll find that truth in your life too. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. And then there's a prosperity message that I'm feeling called to read also, so I'm going to read a little more. What happens when it appears you failed at something? Do you see the beauty in the lesson? The understanding that arises from difficulties is like a seed that lies dormant for a time. Then, once it germinates in your subconscious, it pushes through into your awareness. So what's coming up for me here is in my story, we set off on bicycles to ride bicycles to Mexico. We made it to San Francisco and realized that that wasn't going to work for us. And it felt at the time, in a way, like a failure because we decided we were going to bicycle to Mexico. But instead of like attaching to that feeling of failing, instead, we were like, okay, how do we still do this? Like, how do we pivot the plan? How do we change the plan and still do what we want to do and just, do it in a different way? So I feel like that goes with this message a bit. It is becoming apparent that there is a new you and a new start. A more powerful version and form of what you began to plant in the garden of your imagination has surfaced. You are ripe for success. New opportunities, much better than those that came before, appear like gifts from the gods. Now is one of those times when out of seeming loss and failure comes remarkable abundance. Do not dwell on the past because you really are experiencing a rebirth. That is such a great card for the new year, guys. I love it. Yeah. Trust that you can step into this new beginning. Trust that you can take this leap. You are supported. You're supported if you ask to be supported. You're supported if you believe you're supported. Yeah, that's great. All right, we have just a little time. Pull one more real quick. See what comes out. Oh. Thinker. Number 44. Here, I'm going to go right to it so I don't run out of time. Here we go. Okay. Strategy, being analytical and logical. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. So this morning when I was on a walk with my boyfriend, we were talking, and he quoted a quote from Eisenhower, which was, a plan is useless, but planning is invaluable. So when it comes to the leap of faith, it's like this is reminding you, learn what you need to learn about this leap, plan, but don't get stuck on the plan. Do your planning, do your learning, but be flexible, be willing to shift, So this is the reminder that like your leap of faith, you can learn a lot before you take that leap so that you're ready and so that you have all of this knowledge base to get you going. Okay, I'm about to run out of time, so you have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. All right, guys, those are awesome messages. Happy New Year. I hope that this was helpful. If you've taken a big leap of faith, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I love those stories. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.